Anne of Green Gables, Episode 1, Matthew's Quiet Journey Home. Welcome to the evening story shelf. Tonight, we begin a gentle retelling of Anne of Green Gables, a story of imagination, belonging, and quiet hope. Find a comfortable place to rest. Let your shoulders soften. There is nowhere else you need to be. When you're ready, we'll begin. Main story. The road that led away from Avonlea was quiet in the early evening, washed in pale gold and shadow. Tall trees leaned inward, their leaves whispering softly to one another, as though sharing secrets only they could hear. Matthew Cuthbert walked along this road at an unhurried pace, his boots brushing the dust, his thoughts moving just as slowly. Matthew was not a man who hurried. He preferred the steady rhythm of familiar paths, the comfort of routine, and the gentle predictability of his days. That evening, however, his walk held a small weight of importance. Green Gables, the farmhouse he shared with his sister Marilla, stood quietly behind him now, its white walls glowing faintly in the fading light. Matthew had been sent on an errand, a simple one, yet unusual enough to unsettle him. He was going to the train station. The idea itself made him shift his shoulders, as though adjusting an invisible coat. Matthew was not accustomed to crowds, nor to loud voices or sudden changes, but Marilla had been firm, and when Marilla was firm, there was very little left to be said. The train would arrive that evening, and Matthew, kind and obliging as always, would be there to meet it. The station at Bright River appeared modest and calm, its wooden platform stretching out beneath the softening sky. A few lanterns flickered to life, casting warm circles of light against the twilight. Matthew took a seat on the bench and waited. The air smelled faintly of grass and coal smoke. Crickets had begun their evening song, and somewhere beyond the tracks, a bird settled into sleep. Matthew folded his hands and breathed. When the train finally arrived, it came with a gentle clatter rather than a roar, its presence announced more by vibration than sound. Passengers stepped down one by one, their footsteps echoing softly on the platform. Matthew rose, scanning the faces politely, carefully, as though unsure exactly what he was looking for. There were men with travel bags, women adjusting their shawls, and families greeting one another with quiet smiles. And then there was a girl. She sat alone on a wooden crate, her back straight, her hands folded neatly in her lap. Her hair was a vivid shade of red, caught by the lantern light like a small flame. Her eyes were wide and bright, taking in everything at once, the station, the sky, the people passing by. She looked hopeful. Matthew hesitated. Surely, this must be the child he was meant to meet. Yet something about her expression, so open, so alive, made him pause. He cleared his throat softly. Are you waiting for someone? He asked. The girl turned toward him at once, her face lighting up as though he had brought good news. Oh yes, she said, her voice quick but warm. I'm waiting for the people from Green Gables. They're coming for me. Matthew felt his heart shift. That would be me, he said gently. The girl stood at once, her excitement barely contained. Oh, I'm so glad, she said. I was beginning to think perhaps I'd imagined the whole thing. But then, imagination is a powerful thing, don't you think? Matthew smiled, just a little. As they walked together toward the wagon, the girl spoke easily, as though silence were something to be filled with wonder. She spoke of the trees along the road, of the sky's changing colors, of how beautiful the world seemed when one truly noticed it. Matthew listened. He did not interrupt. He did not rush her. Something about her voice, its sincerity,
Its joy felt strangely comforting. The wagon rolled slowly away from the station, its wheels humming softly over the road. Lantern lights swayed gently beside them, and the stars began to appear, one by one. Matthew glanced at the girl beside him. She gazed upward, as though memorizing the night. And for the first time that evening, Matthew felt a quiet certainty settle in his chest. Whatever lay ahead at Green Gables, this journey had already begun to change something. The road stretched onward, the night deepening around them, and for now, that was enough. Thank you for listening to the Evening Story Shelf. Our story will continue in the next episode, where Anne arrives at Green Gables for the very first time. Until then, rest well, and good night.